So want to show a few protections I've made for Xiaomi m365 for both Pro and not Pro version. This is my not Pro, just m365, which is 3 years old. And here is protections I've created. So this one is for Pro, this one is for regular one, that one I've bought as a spare one for having a reference. It's for Pro. So let's start with Pro. The difference is quite actually significant, both in length and in width. And for Pro I've made the version where we see a special holes for bolts, which will be hidden. I don't know how it exactly called in English. The thickness is 6 millimeters. It's a monolithic polycarbonate. And here is, for example, a bolt from my m365. And if I will put it from this part, it will be hidden a bit, not a lot, but it's not meant to be like this. Of course, ideally it's needed to buy a special bolt for this, but still even with original bolts there is a few millimeters from this side which can be even enough. It's 2.5 millimeters. So even with the original bolt it kinda can be used, but I would not prefer that. Even so it is possible easily. So let's compare it to this one. I'm not sure if it's original one. I bought it from China, maybe. But if we will compare holes and the sizes, it really fits like almost perfect. It's already 5 or 6 people who ordered it, and no one complained about Pro version of this plate. It's totally transparent, so just written this plate is covered with totally transparent, and no names here, no logos, anything. I just removed because the very first customer asked to remove it, and I understand that having a logo here is just useless, at least for me. So with this plate such thing comes, and I believe that it will help for waterproofing the deck. Just put this one and screw it up, and I believe it's the material that Xiaomi used originally for their decks. It have tape from this side, and I think it can be used here as well. Or if you want to waterproof, I would suggest actually to use a silicone on the outer edge, somewhere here on the outer edge of a deck, and of course be careful and put silicone here on this outer edge, as I said, not from the or not. Actually, it's better to put it from this part, because if water will go from these holes, you need to protect it to go inside the deck. So this deck actually was made with using a template of original one, and you can see that this first 3 holes is a bit oval, and it's the same as original one have. And yeah, as I said, transparent, 6 millimeters monolithic polycarbonate, quite durable one. Yep, that's it. When it comes to the deck I have for regular M365, it's a bit older version and not that good as for Pro one, but I'm actually in the process of improving it. So with this M365 deck doesn't have these things for bolts. It's the first one, the first difference. The second difference is that also these holes are not oval, though they are kind of regular circle, and it may lead to a problem with attaching it to M365 deck. I have one customer which have a white Xiaomi, and he have a problem. Basically all these screws is fine except this 3-1, and I would speculate that if it will be oval, it will fit. It's just a few millimeters that is not enough. But for my black M365, it attached almost perfectly. So as I said, I am in the process of improving this, but if you will go to buy this version from me, be prepared that for white versions of scooter it might be some problems. But once more, I would speculate that it can be easily fixed with drilling a bigger hole here. Like so far it has 3.1 or 3.2 millimeters holes. I don't remember exactly, but let's try to measure. I think it's 3, either it's 3 strictly or 3.1. So it can easily be drilled to 3.5 or even 4, and then it will fit. It's also totally transparent and don't have any logos on it. Even so you saw some logos on photos from eBay. It was just the very first test plate I made. I decided to put my logo, but as I said, I then removed it. So that's it. And yes, once more, original bolt. And if you will use original bolt for this plate, it still will, it's possible to attach, but you need to understand that it's less than 2 millimeters of this screw part that will basically hold the deck. But I actually used it for my scooter. I attached it, and it was working. It was holding this plate. So why I didn't attach? Actually, because I don't want to use these bolts. I want to use bigger one, and I already bought them, but I didn't had the chance to replace it, since as always people are very busy and I'm not an exception. So that's it. If you want to buy it, there is a link in eBay to eBay. Yeah, for Pro version, and it's for both M365 Pro and M365 Pro second. This one is for M365 and M365 1S, and there is a few versions like M187 and some weird version called Light or something like that with reduced battery. Yeah, for waterproofing I would suggest actually to use either one of this one. It's a few dollars on eBay or AliExpress, or just silicone or hermetic or whatever you have on your hand. Is there something I didn't mention? Yep, that's it. Thanks for attention. If you have any suggestions for improving this anyhow, or yeah, any suggestions, any questions, any comments, feedbacks, I'm really open to it, and I'm really looking for a negative one, but you know, that negative comments which are, I don't know how to explain, but a real comment I can use for improvement, let's say. Yes, that's it once more. Thank you for watching, and drive safe.